皆さんこ
ようこそ皆さんこんばんは Good evening, everyone. How's it going? Back again for another stream. I'm tired for some reason. I just woke up, really, but so I'll be energized in a little bit. But we're back for another coding stream. C# coding once again. Let's see here, and then we'll probably play. We'll do a bit of coding, go through the coding challenge from last week, and go over a new topic in coding, C# coding, and then after that, we're going to go and draw for a little bit, and then we'll change gears and finally play a game, and that will either be Sonic Generations or Monster Hunter Wilds, or both, maybe. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Okay, let's go ahead and get this started, really. And transition. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, hopefully the audio quality is all good, and I'm going to start reading over the challenge. In this challenge, you'll write code to combine literal and variable values into a single message. Challenge, display literal and variable values. Select all the code in .NET editor, delete or backspace key to delete it. Store the following values and variables. These variables should be given names that reflect their purpose. Make sure you select the correct data type for each of the variables based on the type of data it will hold. Finally, you'll combine the variables with literal strings passed into a series of console.write commands to form a complete message. Write the code in the .NET editor, display the following message. So we're going to change it up a little bit, just change the values, just to make it more related to the stream here. So we have the following variables, Bob 3 and 34.4. So I imagine, okay, so the variable we'll first create is variable Vtuber, which in, the normal case would probably be first name or something. That's what you can use for this first variable. Actually, sorry, it should be string Vtuber. Is it? Yeah, lowercase string. Oops, lowercase string. Forgot this is a case sensitive language. String Vtuber equal, well, actually do this. Then Vtuber equals. See, can't you write it in one line? Let me see. Okay, yeah, you should be able to write in one line. So string Vtuber KaptainNexus, and then int. Let's say, since it's related to this, let's say messages equals 3. And then this, we have a decimal variable, so this will be int temp equals it should be I'm going to think of a different number. What is, let me see. Okay, I'll go with that one. 1003. Then put in, no, was it an M? Yeah, M for decimal, I believe it was, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. No, wait. I have to wrap it in parentheses first. Ooh, I can't remember the decimal portion. Hang on, let's see. This is where we go to our friend Google and search that part up if we can't remember. So How to input a decimal in C#. Okay, no, it was M. It was M. Oh, I have to write out decimal. That's what it is. I was thinking we still used int. That's my mistake. Decimal. M. There we go. So I had it half right. So these are numbers. These are variables. Vtuber. In your case, if you're following along, you can put in first name or name and everything. I put in KaptainNexus instead of Bob, because that is the VTuber, me, and int for integer, messages, which is the variable name, and then we have the number 3. And then decimal, temp for temperature is our variable. Then 1003. Oh wait, 1003. How about 0.01? No. Now we can do console dot write line. Oh, we all want it on one line, don't we? So we can do console dot write, and then hello. Hello, VTuber. See, I don't think I even need that. Hang on. Actually, no, I do need that plus. I do need that plus. Run this first part. Okay. All right, that part works. So then we'll go on to the next one. Console. Yes, I will. Right now we're going through a challenge. So in the last few streams, we had gone over literal variables and explicit variables for C#. But just to give a brief overview, literal variables are basically what you see here. So we have our method. Well, actually, no, is that the method? It would be the variable name. Hang on, I'm actually going to go back for this one just a little bit. My brain's still tired and I don't want to say the wrong thing. Okay, yeah. Okay, string variable type, and then the variable name in this instance is VTuber. And then for strings, you have to wrap everything in quotation marks. For characters, you have to write everything in single quotes instead of double quotes. String uses double quotes. Characters use single quotes, and it would be in a similar format like this one. Integers and decimals, anything with numbers, like just numbers used for calculations, they don't need quotes. But for decimals, you need to put in either a M, a D, or a F at the very end. F is for float, D is for double, and M is for decimal. I think that's all of them. And then var is a special type of implicit variable. Yeah, it's an implicit local variable and everything. You can use var, so then it will imply what your variable type is, but you cannot change it after you've assigned it, basically. And how you would assign it is basically how we would do so here. So we assign KaptainNexus to the variable name Vtuber. We can change what this variable is, and I'll have that as an example right in just a few minutes. Actually, I'll do it right now. Actually, no. So you can reassign a variable Vtuber and have it equal, say, Shy Lily, who is an actual Vtuber. And now if we copy and paste console.write, it's gonna put actually type in console.write line up here, just so then it appends a new line. Then we're just gonna run that. So now it says hello KaptainNexus and then hello Shy Lily. So that was reassigning a variable, and you can do that after the variable is created. But what you cannot do, say you change the string to a var, so it's going to imply that the variable Vtuber is a string. So now it is permanently a string. So you can't do something like, say, make this a 3. You can't do that. It'll give you a red squiggly line saying that you can't do that, and when you run the code, it'll say that there's an error. You can't convert an integer to a string. So once you've implied what a variable is, you can never change the variable type. Just like if this was still string, you can't all of a sudden make this you can't all of a sudden make this like a 3. What you can do is put the 3 in quotations, so then you can actually type it out. So now it's hello KaptainNexus, hello number 3. But you can't just have it be a integer value used for calculations, or a numeric value used for calculations. Strings are for alphanumeric characters, and integers and decimals are for numeric characters only. Then there's Boolean, which is for true or false values. So it'd basically be like bool. Let's like call it fact or whatever, and then it'd be true. So something like that. There are certain keywords that you can't make into variable names or make them values and whatnot. Oh, did the stream freeze? I see it loading. Hang on. That bothered me. Okay. Okay, hopefully it didn't freeze or anything. I think YouTube caught everything, so just in case you need to go back, there's also still YouTube. I don't think it froze. It doesn't say there were any dropped frames or anything like that, and it shows it's still recording. Okay. But yeah, that's just a brief overview of what was discussed the last time. For more in-depth, you'll have to watch my other video. Or you'll figure it out as we go along. Anyways, so now we're going to type in you have. Let me take out the line here. So, oh yeah, there's the other thing where console is a class, write or write line, that's a method. We're using the console.write method, and Basically, we're telling the computer to print out the text that we put in parentheses. And let's see here. Now we're going to put messages. How you put different variables within a console.write line, you need to have a plus symbol, but you don't always need a plus symbol for like every line of code, and we'll get into that later. But for right now, you'll just focus on putting in plus message, plus variable name, and then plus again, and continue on with your statement. So, and messages in your inbox. Oh yes, at the very beginning, put in a space, because all of this is going to end up on one line because we're only using console.write, not console.write line. If you want a line appended at the end of your statement, then you'd use console.write line. But if not, then you use console.write. There is an easier way of doing this, but we're just doing it this way for the sake of the challenge. The temperature is temp, and then go right in Celsius. No, wait, oops. Yeah, and then you need a semicolon at the end of every line. Otherwise, your code won't work. Only in Python, with the exception of Python, where you don't need a semicolon, and maybe some other programming language that I don't know. But generally, you need a semicolon at the end of every statement. Still don't know what that sound is. Still haven't figured it out. Okay, and now we'll go ahead and run this code. So now it says, hello, KaptainNexus, you have 3, forgot to put a space after, or I mean before the word messages. Run that again. Hello, KaptainNexus, you have 3 messages in your inbox. The temperature is 1003.01 Celsius. Again, okay. 1003.01 Celsius. And that's the challenge there. So this is the other way of doing solution, which is much longer. So they did console.write hello, and then console.write name, console.write again, console.write. They basically just made a bunch of console.write statements. We went the plus method because I wanted that to be shorter. That's what I remembered. So yeah. Variable type string to hold the name, variable type integer to store the number of messages, and variable type decimal float or double to store the temperature. Okay, and now here is the knowledge check. So which of the following variable names should or must be avoided? So for this one, I believe it would be data, because I think that's a saved thing there. I think flag should be fine. What is the problem with this line of code for our message? The use of var without initializing the variable. Yep. And here was the following is the output of console.writeLine 34.4 M. It would be, should be this one, or shouldn't it? Because it's going to be decimal, so I think it's going to take round all the way to like the, should be an exact number. Well, actually, no, because it's exact, should be this, shouldn't it? Yeah. Which of the following lines of code creates a variable correctly? No, not that one, because I know, because we messed up on that one. This one should. And actually, this one should as well. Hey, hang on. Let me see. Oh wait, no, this one should not, because it's in single quotes. That's right. Yep. You can't do this. This is another thing you can't do. This is a Boolean value. When you're doing a Boolean value, it needs to be either true or false. And it cannot be, that true or false cannot be in single quotes or double quotes. So this middle one's the correct one. This is the only one that I'm kind of unsure about, just because if it's going to be exact, actually, yeah, if it's going to be exact, it shouldn't round. So it should be 34.40. And we're using a decimal value here, so it has an M, so it's going to give you the exact number. So we're going to go ahead and submit our answer here. And yep, we got all of them right here, it looks like. Hang on. Yep. $sign can't be used in a variable name. That's why this one was wrong. I mean, this one must be avoided. You can't use a $sign, and I believe the hashtag symbol or pound symbol. You can't use those as a variable name. And you shouldn't use all uppercase variables for a variable name either. Okay, summary. Using basic C# syntax, you create literal values of several different data types. You declare variables and also set and retrieved values from those variables. You also initialize variables and learned how to use the var keyword to implicitly type a variable by inferring the type from initialization. And that's the module complete there. So now we're going to go on to the next module. Okay, which part is this one? Okay, performing basic string formatting in C#. Oh yeah, I totally forgot to post the link of what we were doing here. Hang on. That's my bad. We're on the Microsoft Learning website and everything, so if you want to follow along, here's that link there. So now back to the introduction. As a software developer, you'll need to write C# code to combine and format literal and variable data to create a new value. That value might be displayed to save a file or sent across the network. Fortunately, C# provides many ways to combine and format data. Suppose you want to display the output of a command line application you're writing. You want to display values including literal text, text in variables, numeric data, and textual data in other languages. How would you format it correctly so that the user can understand what your application is communicating to them? In this module, you'll use character escape sequences to format literal strings of text to include special characters, including tabs and line feeds, even characters from different languages like kanji or Cyrillic script. You'll learn how to concatenate strings together and will use string interpolation to create literal strings. I'm so tired. String, template, and replaceable parts. By the end of this module, you'll be able to control how your data is displayed to end users of your application. All right, so learning objectives: create string data containing tabs, new lines, and other special characters. Create string data containing Unicode characters. Combine string data into new string value via concatenation. Combine string data into new string value via interpolation. All right, and go ahead and go on to the next one. Okay, exercise. Combine strings using character escape sequences. Suppose you've been asked to create a mock-up of a command line tool that will generate invoices in both English and Japanese. Oh, I'm learning Japanese, so how fortunate. I didn't set a Japanese setting and stuff. This is just pure coincidence. You don't have to build the actual functionality that generates the invoices yet. You only need to provide the command line interface to internal customers in the billing department for their approval. Your manager asks you to make sure you add formatting to make sure the current progress of the tool is clear. Your manager also asks you to provide instructions for Japanese users on how to generate invoices in Japanese. Exercise. In this exercise, you'll learn different techniques to display special characters and add different types of formatting to the output. Character escape sequences. Escape character sequence is an instruction to the runtime to insert a special character that will affect the output of your string. In C#, the escape character sequence begins with a backslash, followed by the character you're escaping. For example, the /n sequence will add a new line and a /t sequence will add a tab. The following code uses escape character sequences to add new lines and tabs. So in this instance, it is console dot write line. I'd used this in a previous live stream in order to get done with that problem faster. And just to play around to see what I actually remembered and everything. Last time we used the /n, so then we could create a new line. So, hello world. It puts hello on the first line and world on the second line. And then if you were to do the same, but do /t, it creates a tab in between hello and world. Just like you see right here. Okay, so what if you need to insert a double quotation mark in a literal string? If you don't use the character escape sequence, you'll confuse the compiler because it'll think you want to terminate the string prematurely. The compiler won't understand the purpose of the characters after the second double quotation mark. So we'll copy this here, Control A, Control V. So basically it'll give you a red squiggly line underneath, starting after the end of the first quotation mark. So if you run that, it'll give you this error below, just like you see here. To handle that situation, use the /escape sequence, double quotation escape sequence. So here it is, you'll do slash and then quotation mark, and then slash quotation mark. Run that code. So now it puts quotation marks around the word world. What if you need to use the backslash for other purposes, like to display a file path? So if you write it like this is going to fail. All right. It will give you an error, unrecognized escape sequence, because it doesn't recognize /s, and then it doesn't recognize /r. Problem is sequence /s, the /r doesn't produce an error because it's a valid escape sequence for a carriage return. However, you don't want to use a carriage return in this context. To solve this problem, you can use the double backslash to display a single backslash. So this is sometimes what I have to do at work when it comes to finding certain files, or navigating through File Explorer, because it doesn't recognize the initial, well, not in File Explorer, but online when you're doing very specific searches, file searches. Let's see here. So see, source / repository. All right, and now it spits out C, which is your C drive, and then /source / repository. This type of stuff I have in my brain sometimes when I'm trying to figure out certain things at work. Yeah, escaping the backslash character produces the output you intended. Format output using character escape sequences. Select all of the code in the .NET editor and press delete or backspace to delete it, blah, blah. Okay, to complete a mockup of the command line tool, enter the following code in the code editor. All right, so we'll go ahead and do this. Do we want to change anything? No, not really. We'll just go how it is. Dot right line. Oh wait, nah, I'll change this. Actually, yeah, you have to have capitalized right and line. Oh, I misspelled right there. Or else it's not going to work either. So the W have to be in right has to be capitalized, and the L in line has to be capitalized when you're doing console.write line, by the way. And everything else has to be lowercase after that. You can't have any other uppercase characters whenever you're doing console.write line. All right, and now that we've run everything, it prints out the following result: generating invoices for customer Nexus Tech, invoice 1021 complete, invoice 1022 complete, output directory. And now we're going to go into the verbatim string literal. A verbatim string literal will keep all white space and characters without the need to escape the backslash. To create a verbatim string to create a verbatim string, use the @ symbol before the literal string. So we'll go ahead and type in console dot right line at. Oh, my keyboard's dirty. Yeah. Oh, hang on. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then C source slash homes enter tab. Wait, no, too many tabs because I had it at the right. Okay, yep. This is where your code goes. This is where your code goes. So now, thanks to the @ symbol here, it put all of this on a brand new line. Okay, format output using verbatim string literals. So we're going to change this to the :/invoices. Run. Oh, let's see. Oh yeah, that's right. There's a tab at the end of the other one, so I'll go ahead and run that. There we go. Okay, now going to do Unicode escape characters. You can also add encoded characters and literal strings using the /u escape sequence. Then a 4-character code representing some character in Unicode, UTF-16. So this instance we will put in, okay, so it's supposed to say Konnichiwa world, which is hello world. Well, if it was going to be hello world, it would be Konnichiwa Sekai. Or Sekai Konnichiwa. Yeah, it'd be Konnichiwa Sekai, right? With Japanese, the order of the language is a little bit reversed in some cases. So world is Sekai. And another world is Isekai. And then Konnichiwa is hello. So slash U 3053 slash U 3093 slash U 36B slash U 36F. No, wait, 36-1. And slash U 36F. And then world. So now here at the bottom, it printed out Konnichiwa world. Looks very grainy when they type it out in here. Interesting. Okay. Format output using Unicode escape characters. To complete the mockup of this command line tool, you'll add a phrase Japanese translate to generate Japanese invoices. Then you'll display a verbatim literal string that represents the command that the user can enter. You'll add some escape sequences for formatting. So over here, I'm going to go ahead and copy this because I'm not going to type out all this Unicode. I'm be real. Nihon no seikyu shou o seisei suru ni wa. Nihon, that's Japan. No, it was and. This one I don't know too well. I'm used to seeing the characters and then doing that route. Let me. Nihon no, I just want to translate this. This is just what I want to do personally. Say you show oh say oh wait you okay, oh wait, yeah, it translates to basically generating the invoices. Generating invoices for customer. That's roughly what it translates to, but I can't get it perfect because I don't know how to enter this into this character into Google Translate, the U with the dash above it. That's what kind of messes it up, because like if I just type in ASUS, it just translates to directly to sex, and that's not what it means here. Anyways, let's see. Control A, Control V, and then wait, hang on, Control Z, and then go ahead and do Control V. There we go. Yeah, I'm not writing all the Unicode. You can if you want to, but I'm not going to. Console.write and then the Unicode. So we got, I'll go through it though. So we got \n, that's new line, \n, that's new line, \u, that's Unicode, and then Unicode, Unicode, all the way until we get to the last \n at the end here, and then \tab. And then we use the @ character, so then we don't need to use escape characters and just have the entire thing printed out here. So we have C drive, then the folder invoices, and then the application app.exe -j. So this is what it should output whenever we run the code, exactly like this. So generating invoices for customer Nextech, invoice 1021 complete, invoice 1022 complete, output directory invoices. And then it would be in Japanese, basically generating invoices for customer there. So recap, use character escape sequences when you need to insert a special character into a literal string, like tab, \tab, well, \t, new line, \n, or double quotation marks, \, double quotation. Use an escape character for the \. It'd be \/ when you need to use a \ in all other scenarios. Use the @ symbol directive to create a verbatim string literal that keeps all white space formatting and \ characters in a string. Use \u plus 4 character code to represent Unicode characters UTF-16 in a string. Unicode characters may not print correctly depending on the application. Okay, right now that was a lot of reading from me. I'm going to take a quick break just to get some water and everything and restart my brain. I'll be right back. And I'm back, and now we are going to get back to coding. We have about 2 more sections to go through here, and then we're going to move on to a bit of art just as a relaxer. Just got me some water there. Throat's still a little bit dry, but we're going to continue. So, going to go ahead and where did my mouse go? There we go. Control A and backspace all of this out because we're not going to need that anymore. Actually, no. Let's put it back, and then just do slash. Where's star key? There it is. Then star slash just to comment out all that code just in case we do need it again. So now we're going to go through concatenation, which is what I was doing earlier. I couldn't remember the actual name. It's whenever you do a string, like, you know, the double quotation marks and then plus and then your variable and then plus again and then continue on the string. That was concatenation. So often you'll need to combine data from many different sources, including literal strings and variables containing both text and numeric data. In this unit, you'll use string concatenation to combine 2 or more values into a new string. What is string concatenation? String concatenation is programmer speak for simply combining 2 or more string values into a new string value. Unlike addition, the second value is appended to the end of the first value, and so on. In the following exercise, you will write code to concatenate string values together. Concatenate a literal string and a variable. To concatenate 2 strings together, you'll use string concatenation operator, which is the plus symbol. Select code editor, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yep. String vtuber equals KaptainNexus string. Wait, let me do this. Yeah, actually, yeah. Message equals hello plus VTuber. And now we can do console.writeLine message. Man, having a nice cold drink of water really wakes you up, especially in this hot ass room. The heat just built up because I didn't turn off my gaming PC last night, so yeah. Hello, KaptainNexus. That's what is produced. Notice the order of the string is hello, and the first new string is first in the new string, and the value of first name variable is appended to the end of it. Concatenate multiple variables in literal strings. So, you can perform several concatenation operations in the same line of code. Modify the code you wrote earlier to do the following. Alright, so we got greeting plus first name. Yep. So we'll go ahead and change this to greeting. And then string equals greeting. Oh, too many E's. Greeting plus oh wait, oops, did not mean to do that. Meant to write message equals, yep, there we go, greeting plus VTuber plus There we go. And now we can print this out. Hello, KaptainNexus. Oh, wait. Oops. Forgot to take this part out here. There we go. That's why I said KaptainNexus twice, because I called to that variable twice. Yep. Hello, KaptainNexus, but I think there's too much of a space there. Yeah, I forgot to take the space out of hello. Yep. Hello, KaptainNexus. All right. And then avoiding intermediate variables. In the previous steps, you used an extra variable to hold the new string that resulted from the concatenation operation. Unless you have a good reason to do so, you can and should avoid using intermediate variables by performing concatenation operation as you need it. Modify the code you wrote earlier to the following. So basically, shouldn't really ever do this unless you really need to. So generally you would do this instead. Take this out, and take this out, copy it, backspace, take out that semicolon, and then take out what message says here, then paste in the original message. So now it will display hello, KaptainNexus, all in the console.write line message. This is generally what you're going to be doing when you need to print out a statement. You'll put all of your concatenation into the console.write line, unless there's a special required reason for you to assign it to a variable. Okay, so to recap, string concatenation allows you to combine smaller literal and variable strings into a single string. Avoid creating intermediate variables if adding them doesn't increase readability. All right, and on to the next exercise. Let me just get a drink of water here. Okay. Exercise: combine strings using string interpolation. While string concatenation is simple and convenient, string interpolation is growing in popularity in situations where you need to combine many literal strings and variables into a single formatted message. What is string interpolation? String interpolation combines multiple values into a single literal string by using a template and one or more interpolation expressions. An interpolation expression is indicated by an opening and closing curly brace symbol. You can put any C# expression that returns a value inside the braces. The literal string becomes a template that is prefixed by the $sign character. In other words, instead of writing the following code, string message equals greeting plus quotation marks, empty quotation mark, space, quotation mark, plus first name, plus string exclamation mark, you would instead put string message equals $, curly brace, greeting, curly brace, then curly brace, first name, curly brace. If you do like inspect element on a lot of pages, you will see this a lot. Which if you're a penetration tester, yeah, you're going to see this a lot. In this example, we have a few keystrokes. You can imagine how much more concise string interpolation can be in more complex operations. Moreover, many find the string interpolation syntax cleaner and easier to read. In the following exercise, you'll rewrite the previous messages using interpolation. Use string interpolation to combine a literal string and a variable value. To interpolate two strings together, you create a literal string and prefix the string with the $sign symbol. The literal string should contain at least one set of curly braces, and inside those curly inside those characters, you use the name of the variable. All right, so we're going to change this here. Just go ahead and do Control Z so then it goes back to having message. And then we'll go ahead and just backslash this and then change this to this out. Hello. Put a $sign at the beginning of this one. And then put this in, is all in one quotation. Wrap it in curly braces here. Oh, there. Now when we print out message, it'll still say, hello, KaptainNexus. We use interpolation. Use string interpolation with multiple variables and literal strings. So now, go ahead and modify the code again. So I'm just going to do /* and then */. So int version. Int version. I'm going to switch this to Linux because I hate Windows that much. So we'll do 24.04 because that's the last Linux version that I remember installing on a PC recently, I think. Oh wait, we'll have to use decimal in that case. Decimal. Then put a M at the end. String update text equals Kali Linux update to Kali Linux version string message. Oh, can't capitalize string. Got to keep that lowercase. Equals. This is part of the reason I can't type. I switch between programming brain and then actual English grammar brain all the time. Update text. Depending on your text editor, it'll be different on what color the actual variables will be whenever you're actually using them. Like in the example, it shows it as being blue. And that's probably because they're using VS Code to type all this up instead of like this actual .NET editor that's built in here. So yeah, keep that in mind. So if it looks a little bit different, that's not really much of a problem. These colors can be set by the user, by the way, depending on your IDE. All right, and now we can do console.writeLine message. Oh wait, oops, do not capitalize message, stop it. Okay. And now we can run this code. So now it says update to Kali Linux version 24.04. Now, just as you did in previous exercise, you can eliminate temporary variable to store the message. Modify the code you wrote earlier to do the following. All right, so basically we will just copy all of this, cut it out, and then also take out message here. And then we'll just put all of it into the parentheses while replacing it with message. So now we can do console.writeLine like this, and it will print out the same output. So now moving on to the last little bit here. Suppose you need to use a verbatim literal in your template. You can use both the verbatim literal prefix symbol and the string interpolation symbol $sign together. Delete the code from previous step. So basically we'll go ahead and do, it says do $sign at, well, let me go ahead and just, I want to comment this out. Star slash, and then slash star. So now you can go on here and do ring project name equals first dash project console.writeLine and now we did $sign and at, so now we can type in our actual sentence here. C/output slash project name, and then slash data, and now we can run it and it will just output C slash output slash first project slash data, all without having to put in the escape characters. So to recap, string interpolation provides an improvement over string concatenation by reducing the number of characters required in some situations. You can combine string interpolation and verbatim literals by combining the symbol for each and using that as a prefix for the string template. So now the last bit is the challenge portion, and we'll save that for next time. So go ahead and try the challenge on your own, and we will go over it again in the next coding stream. That should be Tuesday if all goes according to plan, but if not, I'll probably tack it on to a Monday or Wednesday stream. So with that being said, I'm going to end this portion of the stream. If you want to continue watching, go ahead and refresh in about the next 2 minutes, where we will just be doing a casual art stream, listen to music, and chat. So I'll be right back.